Hey, it's all with another video, and today is a kind of PSA slash correction that is more than likely going to disappoint you a great deal. So let me just get started with this tweet that the Warcraft devs put out in response to some of the player reports that our artifact knowledge seems to not be going up. They say in this tweet that the intent of increasing Azeroth knowledge was to provide assistance to catch up and unlock Season 1 Azeroth powers. It's now at a level that does so, and will resume increasing when Season 2 Azeroth items begin appearing on January 22nd. So, before January 22nd, our current Azeroth knowledge level is going to, in fact, be locked. It's not going to go any, it's not going to get any higher. It's not going to get any easier to unlock traits for the next 6 or so weeks. So it would have been nice if we knew about this a little bit earlier. This kind of jabs into the whole, hey Blizzard, how about you communicate things a little bit better, such as these kinds of changes. Maybe you could have put it in earlier tweets or the survival guide or something like that. But hey, now we know. So I'm going to talk about how I'm going to look at artifact knowledge and artifact power acquisition, how I'm going to look at it differently now that this change has happened. But let me make it clear that I'm just speaking from my experience, and whatever numbers that you see, it's not indicative of where you folks at home and or on the toilet where you should be. That said, based on everything that I'm looking at so far, my routine for approaching artifact power ain't gonna change. It's still not gonna be a big deal for me, like, at all. But let me explain why. I've explained earlier that my approximate artifact power gain is somewhere around the 20,000 range. More important than anything is that that number has been pretty steady, so it's made my level gain be very predictable. So with this new calculation, I have to consider the fact that over the next 6 weeks, I'm going to gain approximately 120,000 artifact power. If I refer back to Wowhead's handy dandy charts, that's going to take me from level 33, which is what my neck level is right now, all the way down to level 36 and then some. It's still going to be a while until I get to 37, but even if I were to deviate and kind of slack off a little bit, I'll still be well in that level 36 range. The question now is, what is that going to mean when Season 2 starts, when we start getting this new Azeroth gear? How much grinding am I going to have to do in order to unlock whatever better traits that I think I'm seeing from my drops? If I pull up the dungeon guide and look at shoulders once again, because shoulders have the highest Azeroth neck level requirement out of all the Azeroth pieces, the first level of traits requires only a level of 15, really low and accessible, and that's regardless of the item level of these shoulders. I'm using normal as a reference. To get the second level of traits on these 385 shoulders, it needs a level of 31. For the third ring, 34. For the fourth ring, 37. And finally, for the last ring, 40. I'm not going to speak for anybody here but myself, but regarding the first and second traits, those are the ones I really care about. The other ones, I've always seen them as more or less like kind of like a passive nerf to content. Like if everyone were to all of a sudden get that third trait at the same time, I mean, it feels great and everything, but they're not so impactful beyond it feeling like a bit of a passive buff or a passive nerf to content. At any rate, though, given that my level is going to be 36, I'm going to be well on my way to getting myself maxed out, and by the time that me and my guild progress to Heroic, then I'm going to be that much more ahead of the game anyway. To sum things up, it is undeniably disappointing that my previous predictions that, hey, I'll be able to hit the level 39, level 40 or so by the time the raid launches, that's not going to be a thing. It's going to be more like the 36-ish, maybe the 37 if I feel like working any harder. But given the requirements of these Azeroth traits, it still doesn't feel like, I still don't feel compelled that, oh my goodness, I absolutely have to grind to get Long Strider or Imperial Ward. That's not nearly as important to me. So my routine isn't going to change one bit, and I have a feeling that for players who aren't like super hardcore, your routine probably isn't going to change much at all either. So how about you folks at home? Is this going to affect you like at all? Do you have any grievances to air? I'm sure you do, so let me know in a comment below how you feel about this change. And again, I hope that this clears the air, and I apologize that my previous statements turned out to be in error. So please like the video if you enjoyed yourself, or if this was helpful. Subscribe for more content so I can keep giving you this and all things Warcraft. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.